You know that feeling, right? When someone you deeply care about seems to drift away. It's like they've forgotten everything about you. All those moments you shared together, all the connections you built. Now it's like you're invisible to them. That sense of rejection, that emptiness. But what if I told you that ancient Stoic wisdom holds the keys to turning that around? What if you could make them chase you again, simply by embracing a few powerful Stoic secrets? But before we dive into these 9 secrets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our Stoic tips on love and relationships. Now, let's get started. What drew me to Stoicism was that it wasn't just a philosophy. It was a way of living, a path that teaches you how to face life's challenges with resilience. But it's more than that. Stoicism has the power to transform how you approach relationships. When someone pulls away, it isn't the end, it's an opportunity. An opportunity to become the kind of person who naturally draws people back in, someone who others can't help but chase. Let's start with the first secret, confidence in solitude. It begins with one of the hardest steps, crossing the threshold into solitude. For many of us, being alone feels daunting, like an endless void that echoes back our insecurities. The fear of loneliness, of being forgotten, can grip our hearts with anxiety. But what if I told you that this solitude is your greatest strength? What if, instead of seeing it as emptiness, you saw it as an opportunity to rebuild, to reconnect with the most important person in your life, yourself? Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." What he meant was that we must not allow external forces, be it people or circumstances, to dictate our inner state. When you embrace solitude, you reclaim your power. Solitude is not a punishment. It is an opportunity for reflection, growth, and self-discovery. It is in these moments of solitude that you can hear your own voice again, free from the noise of others' opinions and expectations. During this time, you begin to strengthen your inner foundation. You realize that your worth is not determined by the presence of others, but by the solidity of your own character. When you become comfortable in your own skin, in your own company, something profound happens. People begin to notice. Confidence in solitude is magnetic. It's the quiet strength that draws others in, and it's often when you least expect it that they begin to return. But this transformation doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience and a shift in mindset. You must resist the urge to fill the silence with distractions or to seek external validation. Instead, let the silence speak to you. Let it show you who you truly are. The Stoics believed that true power lies within, not in external possessions or relationships. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Once you master the art of being alone, you no longer fear it. Instead, you embrace it as a necessary part of your journey. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop needing others, the moment you become whole on your own, that's when people start seeking you out. Your energy shifts. You become the calm in the storm, the rock that others lean on. And this is precisely what makes them chase you again, your unshakable confidence in solitude. Now that you've found strength in solitude, the next challenge presents itself, letting go of control. This is often the hardest lesson to learn because, as humans, we naturally want to control the outcome of our lives and our relationships. We want certainty, assurance, and predictability. But here's the truth. Trying to control someone else's actions or emotions is like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the need for things to go exactly as planned. It means trusting in the process and in the strength you've cultivated within yourself. The Stoics were masters of this mindset. They taught that while we may not control everything that happens to us, we have absolute control over how we respond. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By letting go of control, you liberate yourself from the anxiety and stress that comes with trying to force things to happen. You create space for things to unfold naturally. This doesn't mean you're passive. It means you're wise. You understand that sometimes the best course of action is to step back, to allow time and space to do their work. When someone distances themselves, the instinct is often to chase them, to ask for answers, to try to mend what's broken immediately. But Stoicism teaches us that this is not the way. The more we push, the further they retreat. Instead, by letting go and focusing on what we can control, our own actions, our own emotions, we regain our power. We stop reacting out of fear or desperation and start acting from a place of calm and wisdom. And here's the beauty of it: when you let go of control, you become unpredictable in the best way. You're no longer playing by the same rules, and this intrigues people. It's like a reset button in their mind. They start to wonder, why isn't this person chasing me? What changed? And suddenly, the dynamic shifts. You've taken back control, not by force, but by letting go. You become a source of mystery, and that mystery pulls them back in. This isn't just a game of strategy, it's a profound shift in mindset. When you no longer cling to outcomes, you free yourself from the fear of rejection. You become untouchable because your sense of self-worth no longer hinges on how someone else responds to you. This is the true essence of Stoic power: detachment from outcomes, mastery over your own mind. And it's this calm, composed demeanor that will have them chasing you again, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. The third stage brings us to one of the most counterintuitive but powerful secrets of Stoicism: limiting your availability. In today's world, we're taught that being constantly available is a sign of dedication, love, and care. But the Stoics teach us something radically different. True strength lies not in spreading yourself thin, but in knowing when to withdraw, when to create space, and when to let silence do the talking. It's in those moments of absence that others truly begin to understand your value. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Withdraw into yourself, for it is in the inner man that our liberty resides." This is a reminder that our greatest power comes from within, not from external validations. By limiting your availability, you're not playing games. You're protecting your energy, your peace, and your sense of self-worth. When you're always accessible, people take you for granted. They begin to assume that you'll always be there, that your presence is guaranteed. But when you step back, when you limit your availability, you introduce a sense of scarcity. And scarcity creates value. Think about it. The rarest jewels are the most prized because they're hard to come by. The same principle applies to human interactions. This isn't about manipulation. It's about self-preservation. It's about recognizing that your time and attention are precious. The Stoics understood that every moment we spend is a moment we never get back. That's why they emphasized living with purpose and intentionality. You don't need to be constantly available to prove your worth. In fact, the more you prioritize your own well-being, the more others will respect your boundaries and value the time they do get with you. Limiting availability forces others to reflect on their actions. It makes them question why you're no longer so accessible and makes them appreciate the moments they do have with you even more. It's in those moments of absence that they begin to realize just how much they miss you. And the more they miss you, the more they begin to chase you. Stoicism teaches us to place value on what truly matters: our peace of mind, our growth, and our internal power. When you limit your availability, you signal to the world that your time is valuable and that you won't be taken for granted. This subtle shift can reignite interest and create a renewed sense of intrigue. Now we reach a crucial threshold, the fourth secret: the journey of self-improvement. This is where true transformation begins. Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardship, it's about thriving through it. It's about using every challenge, every rejection, and every setback as fuel for growth. The fourth secret is simple but profound. The best way to make them chase you again is to focus entirely on your own self-improvement. It sounds paradoxical, doesn't it? How can focusing on yourself make others chase you? But this is one of the most powerful Stoic principles. When you focus on improving yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally, you become a magnet for admiration and attention. People are drawn to those who strive for better, those who are committed to growth. They see your progress and they want to be a part of it. Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Self-improvement is a commitment to not wasting the precious time we have. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, not for anyone else, but for your own fulfillment. And when you do that, something incredible happens. Others begin to notice. They see the changes in you, the way you carry yourself, the confidence you exude, and they are drawn to that energy. But self-improvement isn't just about hitting the gym or picking up new skills. It's about cultivating inner peace, emotional resilience, and mental clarity. It's about becoming unshakable in the face of adversity. The Stoics believed that the greatest victory is the victory over oneself. Every time you overcome a weakness, every time you push yourself to grow, you are becoming stronger. And that strength is incredibly attractive. When they see you focusing on yourself, when they see you leveling up in life, it creates a powerful dynamic. You are no longer the person who is waiting for them to return. You are the person who is forging ahead with or without them. This shift in perspective forces them to reevaluate their own position in your life. They see that you are no longer dependent on their approval or their presence. And that independence, that unbreakable spirit, is what draws them back. In focusing on self-improvement, you are not only reclaiming your power, but also sending a message that you are worthy of being pursued. You're showing them, and the world, that you are constantly evolving, growing, and becoming more aligned with your true self. And this is the ultimate secret. When you focus on yourself, you become the kind of person others want to chase. Not because you're seeking validation, but because you're living your life with purpose and passion. Patience is the fifth secret, a virtue often overlooked in the frantic rush of modern life, but one that the Stoics held in the highest regard. The power of patience is not just about waiting. It's about waiting with grace, with wisdom, and with the understanding that everything unfolds in its own time. And this is where the fifth Stoic secret truly shines. Patience has the power to transform everything. Think about it, how often do we rush into things, trying to force outcomes, to control situations beyond our grasp? We live in an age of instant gratification where waiting feels like weakness. But the Stoics knew better. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "No matter how much you shake the tree, it will still bear fruit only in its season." Patience isn't about passivity. It's about understanding that some things need time to develop. When you allow space for patience in your life, something magical happens. You stop clinging to immediate results. You stop feeling desperate for things to change right away. Instead, you step back, you breathe, and you recognize that the universe has its own rhythm. Patience teaches you to trust the process, to trust that what is meant for you will come. Not when you demand it, but when the time is right. Imagine a river carving its way through solid rock. Not through force, but through patience. That's what patience does to your life. It smooths the rough edges, it creates pathways where none existed before, and it slowly but surely brings you closer to your goals. It's not about being idle. It's about taking the steady, measured steps toward what you want, knowing that with time and persistence, you will get there. When others see your patience, it sends a powerful message. It tells them that you are not driven by impulse, that you don't bend under pressure. You become a steady force, someone who is not easily swayed by the whims of life. And that steadiness, it draws people in. They begin to admire your ability to remain calm, composed, and focused even when things aren't moving as fast as expected. It creates a dynamic where you're no longer chasing anyone. You're moving at your own pace with your own strength and letting the right people come to you. In relationships, patience is a game changer. When you're patient, you give the other person time to reflect, to miss you, to realize your value. You're not rushing to fill the silence with words, not rushing to fix things that may not even be broken. You're standing in your power, knowing that the right connections will flourish in their own time. This patience is what often makes them chase you again. They see that you're not dependent on instant results, and this creates a sense of respect and curiosity that pulls them back toward you. Now, let's talk about the sixth Stoic secret, embracing mystery. Mystery is a powerful force. It captivates, it intrigues, and it keeps people coming back for more. The Stoics understood that not everything in life needs to be explained or laid bare. Sometimes what you withhold is just as powerful as what you share. In today's world, where everything is overshared on social media, where people's lives are laid out for all to see, there is a certain allure in holding something back. There is strength in embracing the unknown, in keeping a part of yourself hidden. It's that mystery that makes people lean in closer, that makes them curious, that makes them want to know more. But this isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about understanding that not every part of your life needs to be public knowledge. Think of mystery as a form of self-respect. By not revealing every thought, every feeling, every plan, you maintain a sense of control over your own narrative. You're not an open book for anyone to read at their leisure. Instead, you are selective, intentional about what you reveal and when you reveal it. The philosopher Epictetus reminds us, silence is safer than speech. Sometimes saying less leaves a far greater impact. It leaves space for imagination, for curiosity to grow. When people don't know everything about you, they start to wonder. They start to fill in the gaps, to idealize the parts they don't understand. And that's where the real power lies. They become invested in figuring you out, in discovering the layers that you've kept hidden. When you embrace mystery, you create an aura of intrigue around you. It makes people chase you not because you're withholding for the sake of it, but because you understand the value of keeping some things for yourself. You become someone they want to figure out, someone who isn't just another open book but a complex, multi-layered individual who leaves them guessing. This isn't about being aloof or distant. It's about having the wisdom to know that mystery creates a natural attraction. People are drawn to what they can't fully grasp. And when you embrace this truth, you become someone they can't easily let go of, because there's always something more to discover about you. Playfulness is the seventh secret. It's often overlooked in the serious, fast-paced world we live in. But there is immense power in being able to inject lightness and fun into life situations, especially when it comes to rekindling connections. The seventh Stoic secret to making them chase you again is to flirt with playfulness. This doesn't mean being careless or immature. Rather, it's about tapping into the lighthearted side of yourself and not taking everything too seriously. Playfulness is a way of showing confidence and emotional resilience. When you can be playful in the face of challenges, you demonstrate that you are grounded, comfortable with who you are, and not bogged down by the weight of the world. Imagine this scenario. You've given someone space, and now that you're reconnecting, you don't bring up the heaviness of the past. Instead, you show up with a smile, a little tease, maybe even a joke that brings laughter to the conversation. That simple act can diffuse tension and break down barriers faster than any deep discussion could. Laughter disarms people. It allows them to relax, to open up, to feel safe again. It makes them want to be around you because you remind them that life doesn't have to be so intense all the time. The Stoics, known for their wisdom, were also known to have a playful side. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you approach life with a playful mind, your energy will reflect that, and people will be drawn to you. It's not about forcing humor or trying too hard. It's about embodying a natural ease, a lightness that others find irresistible. This playfulness creates a sense of unpredictability, a little bit of mystery, because they never quite know what to expect from you. It's refreshing, it's magnetic, and it makes them want to come back for more. When you flirt with playfulness, you aren't just playing with them, you're also playing with life. You're showing that no matter what challenges you face, you can rise above them with grace and humor. That's a powerful message, and it's one that people are deeply attracted to. The world can be a heavy place, but if you're the one who can bring light into their life, they'll chase that light over and over again. The eighth Stoic secret is perhaps one of the most critical when it comes to making them chase you again, demonstrating your value. But here's the key: your value should be intrinsic, not performative. You aren't proving your worth to anyone but yourself. This is about living in such a way that your value is self-evident, that it shines through in everything you do without needing to shout it from the rooftops. The Stoics taught us that true value doesn't come from external validation but from within. Epictetus reminds us, know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Your value isn't in how others see you, but in how you see yourself and live your life with integrity, purpose, and strength. When you demonstrate value, you aren't chasing approval. Instead, you're focusing on your own growth, becoming stronger, wiser, more resilient with each passing day. Your value becomes evident in how you handle adversity, in how you treat others, in how you carry yourself through life's trials. It's not about being perfect or flawless. It's about being authentic and showing that you are someone who learns from experiences, someone who is constantly evolving and bettering themselves. This is where the resurrection happens. You've crossed through trials, faced rejection, perhaps even doubted yourself at times. But now you rise, stronger than before. You don't need to prove anything to anyone because your actions speak for themselves. People are drawn to those who live with purpose, who walk with a quiet confidence that comes from knowing their own worth. When you demonstrate this kind of value, people chase you, not because you're seeking their approval, but because you've become someone they admire and want to be around. This demonstration of value is not a tactic or a game. It's a lifestyle. It's about embodying the principles you believe in and showing the world who you are through your actions. As you rise in your own value, you attract people who recognize that value and are drawn to it. It's a natural consequence of living authentically and purposefully. So let them come back. Let them chase you not because you're playing hard to get, but because you've become someone who commands respect and admiration through your character, your wisdom, and your ability to grow and rise from any setback. That's true power. That's unbreakable strength. And that's what makes people want to be part of your life again. The ninth Stoic secret is perhaps one of the most liberating of all. Remain detached. Detachment is a core Stoic principle, but it's often misunderstood. Detachment doesn't mean apathy or indifference. Rather, it means freeing yourself from the emotional turbulence that often accompanies our attachments. It's about not letting the outcome define you. When you remain detached, you don't place your happiness or self-worth in someone else's hands. You maintain your center, regardless of whether they chase you or not. Marcus Aurelius said, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." These words hold the essence of detachment. When you let go of the need for someone else to validate you, something remarkable happens. You become magnetic. Your sense of self is no longer tied to their actions. You are no longer swayed by whether they show interest or not. Instead, you are steady, like a tree rooted deeply in the ground, unaffected by the winds of desire or rejection. Detachment is powerful because it communicates self-sufficiency. It shows that you're not desperate for their attention, and you're not waiting for their approval. When you remain detached, you send a message: I am whole on my own, and my happiness doesn't depend on you. This creates a sense of curiosity and even longing in them because they realize they don't hold sway over you. That's something people find incredibly attractive. A person who isn't easily controlled by their emotions or desires. This doesn't mean you don't care about the person. It simply means that your peace of mind is your priority. Whether they return or not, you're at peace. You've learned to find joy in the present moment, in the simple fact that you are in control of your own life. In many ways, detachment is the final elixir of wisdom, the gift you bring back after all the trials and tribulations. It's the realization that no matter what happens, you have the strength and resilience to continue forward with grace and purpose. People who remain detached are often pursued more intensely because they aren't trying to manipulate or force a situation. Their calm, grounded energy speaks volumes. And when the other person realizes that they aren't the center of your universe, it often reignites their interest. It's paradoxical. The more you let go, the more they chase. But the key is to remain detached, not as a tactic, but as a way of living. Detachment brings freedom, and with freedom comes the ability to love without losing yourself in the process. As we come to the final return in our journey, it's time to reignite their pursuit, but in a way that stays true to the Stoic principles we've discussed. Reigniting their pursuit isn't about playing games or using tricks to manipulate them back into your life. It's about showing up as your most authentic, powerful self. It's about letting your actions speak louder than your words. It's about embodying the growth and transformation you've undergone. By now, you've embraced solitude, let go of control, focused on self-improvement, and demonstrated your value. You've shown patience, embraced mystery, and even flirted with playfulness. You've become someone who lives with purpose and intention, someone who isn't swayed by external validation. And because of this, people will naturally be drawn to you. They will pursue you not because you've asked them to, but because they recognize something rare in you, an unshakable strength, an inner peace that few possess. The final secret to reigniting their pursuit is to live your life fully and unapologetically. Continue on your path of self-improvement, personal growth, and emotional resilience. Let them see that you are thriving, that your life is full of meaning and purpose, regardless of whether they are a part of it or not. This is what truly reignites their desire to be in your orbit, when they see that you are not waiting for them, that you are living a life that is rich and fulfilling on its own. People chase what they can't control, and when you have mastered the art of living with detachment, purpose, and joy, they will feel drawn to you like a magnet. It's human nature to want what seems just out of reach, and by living your life with intention and grace, you become that elusive treasure. But here's the twist. You no longer need their pursuit to feel whole. You've become someone who doesn't rely on external validation. Your value is intrinsic, and your peace of mind comes from within. So let them pursue you. Let them come back into your life, but do so on your terms. You are in control now, not of them, but of yourself. You've transformed your life through the wisdom of Stoic principles, and in doing so, you've become unbreakable. Whether they return or not, you've already won. You've reignited the most important pursuit of all, the pursuit of a life well lived, grounded in purpose, resilience, and inner strength. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever used Stoic principles to turn things around in a relationship? Share your experiences in the comments. And if you want to dive deeper into Stoicism, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic.